Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
At PADI, Professional Association of Diving Instructors, we train, test, and certify diving instructors. We have been doing only that since 1966 and have certified more than 130,000 diving instructors. NAUI, National Association of Underwater Instructors, has been certifying instructors since 1960. We are not your enemy. In fact, we can keep you in business.
Right.
Sure.
According to the Divers Alert Network, Dan, there's been an average of 90 scuba diving deaths per year since 1980. Many of the people who visit your resorts are taking their annual vacation, which means, of course, they are taking a break once a year from sitting behind a desk. They are out of shape, if, in fact, they were ever in shape. They want to see all of the sites that you advertise in your brochure, including all of the underwater activities. If you give them a quickie training and a safe to dive certification, the likelihood of their making a mistake is very, very high. Perhaps a fatal one. It only takes one accident, fatal or not, to create a tremendous PR flap and a huge loss of income. Now, let's take a look for a moment at the other side of the picture. You hire a certified instructor, and then you use that as a marketing and promotion tool. Now the couple coming from Kansas who has never seen an ocean will feel safe and secure to come to your resort and get first-class training and know that they'll be taken care of. They'll participate in all your programs, and that will increase your revenue. Yes, it's true that 90% of diving fatalities are caused by things that could have been avoided. Insufficient gas, 14%. Rough seas, strong current, 10%. Natural disease, 9%. Entrapment, 9%. Equipment problems, 8%. Insufficient preparation, 20%. But it takes somebody who is trained and experienced to spot the potential problems and eliminate them before they become a serious problem. You hire a quality chef for your restaurant. Why? So that the guests are happy and they tip well and they come back tomorrow night and spend more money. You hire an experienced resort manager so that you make more money from your resort. You cannot expect this manager to be able to determine whether an individual knows enough to be a diving instructor. After all, he would only be just looking at him. That would be like trying to determine a book by looking at its cover. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. No one really knows how many divers there are, or how many dives those divers make in a given year, or how many fatalities really occur because of scuba diving accidents. The latest estimates have moved up to 150 people a year because of the increased popularity of scuba diving as a sport. A number of years ago, Skin Diver magazine did a survey, and they found that 1% of the U.S. population at that time were scuba divers. That gave us about 2.5 million people. They stated by actual survey of their readers, now admittedly their readers perhaps are not typical of the population at large, but by actual survey of their readers, they went diving 12 times a year. If you work the numbers, this tells us that we could expect 5 deaths in 1 million dives, or 1 death in every 200,000 dives. Let's say that you have a moderate operation at your resort and you service 60 divers in a given day. That makes 20,000 dives a year. That means, given the law of averages, you could expect to go 10 years before you had a fatality. But what if? What if Murphy's Law is in operation and somehow the wheel of chance decides that this year is your year for the fatal accident? Do you want your attorney to have to explain to the judge why you didn't even take the most basic precaution of hiring a certified instructor? The concept of risk and reward would dictate that it is better to hire only certified instructors and use the marketing opportunity to attract more guests. Perhaps we should each do what we do best. We at PADI, Professional Association of Diving Instructors, will train, test, and certify the diving instructors. You can focus your attention on acquiring and retaining the guests. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one question. Just how much are you getting paid from Patty to give this seminar you're giving?
Well, the good news is I'm on salary from Patty, and frankly, they're covering my expenses and not much more. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Me?
Yes.
Have you had any experience in resort management? Do you actually know what we have to go through?
No, I have had a great deal of experience with diving and diving instruction. I have been advised by other managers. I've met with a number of boards of resort managers, mostly in the Bahamas and in Southern California. Based on my conversation with them, they're looking for something that's going to make their operation run smoother, and my understanding is that would be good for all of you. Any other questions? Sir?
How much more is a certified diver going to cost us than a non-certified diver?
Well, like most things, when you hire a 5-star chef, you're going to pay a little more for your 5-star chef because of his experience than you will for a beginning chef. So how experienced an instructor you want to hire would be up to you. Any other questions?
In this economy, I just don't think we can afford it.
Well, perhaps we should look at the numbers and you should look at your bottom line. If you have any questions, I'll be in the back of the room. Feel free to talk to me. Thank you.